I bought the Nintendo Switch Lite 2026 and I regret not buying it earlier, man. I held off for a long time before buying the Nintendo Switch Lite because I already have the Nintendo Switch 2 here at home and it kind of already runs, all the games that are on the Switch Lite. I figured there was no point in buying the Switch Lite since I already have the Switch 2. In fact, I barely use my Nintendo Switch 2 because I only use it to play Nintendo exclusive games, like Zelda, Splatoon, those kinds of games. So I kind of finish the games, get bored, stop playing, and only go back when I buy another one. But, Nintendo games are 400 reais, so that's why it ends up just sitting there most of the time. So I ended up thinking, if I buy the Nintendo Switch Lite, it's just going to end up sitting there too, just like the Switch 2. So there's no reason for me to buy it, but honestly, this way of thinking is totally dumb, man. Usually when I leave the house, I really like to take a portable console with me, like this one, the PSP. I have a few portable consoles at home that I use, so I can take them out with me, when I'm going out. And no, I'm not a collector or anything. All the consoles I have here are really for use. I'm not into keeping consoles in the box and all that. Basically, when I'm going out, I pick one of the portable consoles I have and take it with me depending on the game I want to play. So I've always been really satisfied, I never felt the need to buy a Nintendo Switch Lite. And I also never took the Nintendo Switch 2 out with me because, come on, let's be honest, right? Everyone knows this is a home console. It's for you to play indoors. There's no way you can take this out and play it on the subway because this is basically a crappy tablet, man. My solution for taking something outside has always been these handheld consoles I can pocket and play anywhere, but now we've got a problem, man. These consoles I have here, I got all of them really cheap. This one I got for free, I traded a keyboard for it. This one I paid 500 bucks for on AliExpress before, they started charging a ton of taxes. This one I paid 700 bucks. This one I paid 300. And this one, man, is literally miraculous. They gave it to me because it was broken and I fixed it, Basically, they were going to throw this console away, man. It was 100% free, so since I already have these consoles, it's really easy for me to have a little console to take with me when I go out. But, in case you guys want to buy any of these, I'm sorry to say, everything is expensive. The PSP I paid 300 bucks for, people want 600, 700 reais now. Without the original battery and without the original charger. Guys, don't pay for it. If the PSP doesn't have the original battery, tell the guy to shove it and lower the price. Because honestly, man, what really matters in a PSP these days is the battery. And fake batteries for this thing are garbage. So if you buy a PSP for 600 bucks and the battery is fake, you'll need to spend another 200 reais on an original battery for it to last, meaning you'll lose money. So avoid buying a PSP without the original battery. Now Game Boy, man. Game Boy, people are asking for 600 to 1000 reais, This one here then, don't even get me started, man. PS Vita, bro, the days when it was cheap are long gone. Unfortunately, one of these is going for around 1000 to 1500 reais without the box, man. And the famous 3DS, forget it, right, man? Each one is over 1000 reais, and it's not always going to be in good condition. This one is the only one you can find a little cheaper lately, but it's still going for around 500 bucks or about 350 if it's in terrible condition. That said, the award for the best value handheld console for you to buy today goes to the Nintendo Switch Lite, man. Man, I bought this just to have the experience, of what it's like to own one, and ever since I bought it, I've literally only been playing on it. A lot of people, when they see the Nintendo Switch Lite, think, oh, if I'm going to buy a Nintendo Switch Lite, it's better for me to buy a regular Switch, right? Because at least then I can detach the controllers. I can play on the TV. But think about it from another perspective, man. Think of the Switch Lite as a portable console that plays Nintendo Switch games. Man, it's a lot cheaper than the regular Switch. While the regular Switch costs over a couple thousand reais, the Nintendo Switch Lite is 1100 or 1200 reais, brand new and sealed. I paid 1200 for mine. And used, man, you can find this beauty here for 800. Dude, a PS Vita costs over 1000. A 3DS is also over 1000. The Nintendo Switch Lite is way more powerful. It has way more current games, and it's 1200 reais new, and you can find it for 800. So yeah, the Nintendo Switch Lite is the hottest console right now, guys. And best of all, you can actually fit it in your pocket. And look, the pocket on these pants is really tight, man. But when I take it out with me, I usually prefer to carry it in a little bag like this. I put it in the bag, take it out like this, and use it whenever I want. Then, along with it, I also put my little headphones in. By the way, these headphones here are ones I really recommend, especially for playing on your handheld console. And you can even use them on your PC, These are the headphones I use on my PC. They're Apple-wired headphones, available officially on Amazon. I'll share the link for anyone interested. In my opinion, they're the best headphones. So you can use them with anything that has a headphone jack, right? But like I was saying, man, after I bought the Nintendo Switch Lite, I kind of stopped using my other game consoles. Portable ones at least for now. I was using the PS Vita a lot to play Persona 4. But I have Persona 4 here on the Switch Lite. My only concern when I bought the Switch Lite was the price of the games, man. But here's the thing, man. You go into the eShop and you're gonna be shocked, man. Because you'll see a bunch of Nintendo games here. Nintendo games are all 400 reais, man. Look at this. Super Mario Bros. 330 reais, man. Paying 330 reais to play a Mario game, you know? And you can choose, right? Games starting from 250 games up to 250 games up to 150. And this is what I like, man. Free games, right? Obviously, right? There's Fortnite. There are a bunch of cool games you can play online with your friends. But here, man, games up to 50 reais. And man, when you check this out, there are a lot of good and cheap games. For example, this game here, man, this Daylight here. This game is costing 24 reais. And it's an awesome open world zombie game. Really cool. I'm even going to add it to my favorites because I hadn't seen this deal. And I think I'm going to buy this because this is worth it. 24 reais, man. And you can even play online, you know? This game has an online mode. Look, up to 5 players, Stardew Valley, right? It must be around 20 bucks. The price isn't showing here because I already own it. Resident Evil 4, 40 bucks. Hollow Knight, 27 bucks. Cuphead. Resident Evil 6, 40 bucks. Resident Evil 5, 40 bucks. Man, just taking a look at the store. You notice that the only games that are actually expensive are Nintendo's own games. Games from other companies have a good price. There are even sales, just like on Steam. So it's worth having a Switch Lite to buy legit games, you know? Because you can have fun. Look, man, Catherine Full Body. This game is really good, man. And recently, right, I bought it for the Switch Lite. I bought 4 games for the Switch. And I spent like less than 200 reais. I bought Persona 5, Persona 3, and Persona 4 Golden. It was kind of a bundle. The bundle was about 130 reais. But, you know, anyone who knows Persona gets it, right? Persona 5 Royal alone costs 300 reais. So I got it on sale. The 3 for 130 reais. Then I also bought Monster Hunter Rise here. Which, by the way, I've been playing this a lot on my Nintendo Switch Lite. I'll show you some gameplay. I got Monster Hunter Rise with the DLC for just over 40 reais. Like the full game with the DLC. I paid just over 40 reais and like the base game already gives you about 100 hours of gameplay. With the DLC then, forget it, man. I already have the game with the Sunbreak DLC and it's awesome. If you have a Nintendo Switch Lite, just buy it. Seriously, it's great. That's it. Basically, I'm using the Nintendo Switch Lite now as my handheld to take with me when I go out. I don't even mind buying Nintendo games for it, you know? Like Zelda and Pokemon, games I already own so I can play them. But with a small console like this, you can use it differently, I guess. It's like having a PSP that you were looking so hard to buy. Instead of paying 700, 800 reais for a PSP in good condition, you can buy the Nintendo Switch Lite and buy your games for it. Or you can save up a little more, right? And use the pirate route, which I'm not going to recommend here. But usually people do that. Then you can install a bunch of games, right? I'm in love with this little console, guys. If I had known it was this cool, I would have bought it earlier. Man, I can just sit anywhere in the house and play. When I go out, I take it with me and I can play just fine too. I'm going to show you a bit of Monster Hunter here so you can see why this game is also really good to have on a handheld, man. If you already know Monster Hunter, you know what it's about, right? The name says it all, right? You're a monster hunter. And the game has its own story and all, but the gameplay works like this. You have this town, which is where you get your gear. It's where you buy and forge your armor. And basically, man, if you feel like playing, like I'm here in line at the bank, I'm on the subway, I want to play for a bit. You just come over to this woman and talk to her. You select a mission you want to do, right? Usually the missions involve hunting monsters. Then we're taken to a map where we can use our little mount to go after the monster. Then we have to find it and defeat it, you know? So man, after you kill it, you can use its scales to make armor. It's really cool, man. You're literally a monster hunter. And the monsters in this game are kind of like, I don't know, dinosaurs, you know? They're these creatures kind of prehistoric, you know? This game has a really cool vibe, man. Let's go after this little monster. Look at this big guy here, man. Let's go down. I'll grab my little bow. In my case, I use a bow. But this game has a lot of weapons. Okay, man? There's a big sword. There's a big hammer. There are some crazy shotguns. You can choose the playstyle you like. I really like using the bow, you know? I have a lot of fun using the bow. Every Monster Hunter I play, I always pick the bow, man. Oh crap. I slid wrong here. Man, this game is really awesome. It's even better to play with friends, you know? I think you can play with up to 4 friends. So you guys can fight the monster together, you know? It's really awesome, man. It's pretty fun. And man, this game with the DLC, bro, it's 40 something reais, man. It's really worth it, dude. I recommend it, man. Monster Hunter Rise, man. I'm going to kill this creature so you can see. Also, if you want to buy a Nintendo Switch Lite, I'm going to leave the link to the best prices for a new Nintendo Switch Lite in the description and pin it as well that I can find on the internet. Okay, man? So if you want to buy it, if you can buy it through my link, you'll be helping the channel a lot. And you won't pay anything extra for that, you know? But since I'll be recommending the product, the platform gives me some credit, you know? So if at any point you're interested in buying a Nintendo Switch Lite, man, come back to this video. Access the link in my description and you'll be helping me a lot, man. You can even message me on Instagram saying you bought it and everything. I'll give you a big shout out, man. And thank you so much, alright? But that's it. Let's go beat this big guy here, man. We're almost there. Wow, he's fighting another monster. And actually, that other monster was the one I was supposed to attack. Alright, I'm going to climb on one monster to attack the other, man. What a situation. Man, this game is awesome. Sorry, man. This is top games, dude. Punishment, punishment. I want punishment. Defeating both monsters. And this game, man, basically if you need to pause quickly, you can just turn off the screen and you'll have paused the game. When you turn it on here and get back into the game will be like this, look, paused. Then you just unpause and keep playing, you know? So like it's a game where sometimes the match takes a while, but you have the option to pause at any moment, right? You just won't be able to pause if it's an online match, right? Obviously, because online games don't have a pause, right, man? But man, this is an awesome little game to play, guys. And another one I'm playing too, you know? It's Persona 5. Since I'll have to reset my save in Persona 4 because I was playing on the PS Vita, here on the Switch Lite, I decided to start with Persona 5. Man, this game is awesome, and having it to play on a handheld console like this is really cool, dude. This game used to be exclusive to PS4 and PS5, you know? But then Atlus ended the exclusivity, and now it's available for all consoles. I highly recommend it, guys. Persona 5 to play on the Switch Lite, man. But that's it, guys. It's a really good little console. If you come to me now and ask, iLeo0x, what's the best handheld to buy these days? Man, I'll say it's the Switch Lite, because it's a console that runs current games. You can play online. If you don't want to spend money, you can play Fortnite or Rocket League. There are many free games for it, and honestly, this is probably the cheapest way to play Fortnite. With 1,200 reais, you can't buy a phone that runs Fortnite, you can't buy a PC that runs Fortnite, but you can buy a Nintendo Switch Lite, so this is really worth it. About the games, you can find cheap games, as long as they're not Nintendo's own games, right? Because Nintendo games are really expensive, man. It's Nintendo. But games from any other company, you can always find them cheap, and you can get deals too. So yes, I would say this is the handheld to get right now, man. I highly recommend it, dude. I bought this little kit on Mercado Livre, right? It already comes with this transparent case, screen protector and everything, so it can look nice and stay safe. And I got it in this gray color here, which I loved, man. Best color, bro. But that's it, guys. The video ends here. Comment what you think about my purchase. I hope you liked it. Also comment if you have a Nintendo Switch Lite. And as soon as I have something to do outside, when I have to go out, guys, I'll make a little video taking it out and testing it out in everyday use, alright? But that's it. Love you all. Thanks for watching this far. See you in the next video. We're in this together. Thanks. See you. I'm out.